All right, so a chance for 7 straight wins, chance to sweep the road trip tomorrow. And while that's been phenomenal, you want to kind of keep the fire in these guys alive. You don't want to get complacent. How are you spreading that message to the fellas?
We've looked at where prognosticators have had us, as far as in the league and where they expect us to be. And I think, we've kind of taken that as a motivational factor for us, and it's one of the things that we look at. And we every day we go out and we try to disrupt teams and see if we can do something to irritate them and find a way to get our guys motivated. And it hasn't been hard. Our players are very motivated to be successful this year, and I think for the most part, we've responded against everybody that we've played against.
Coach, you're talking about disrupting the opposition. I want to ask you about the game against Brooklyn at the end of the first quarter. That team was on fire. KJ was knocking down shots, and home teams get hot. But not only did the Blazers not blink, I thought the offense kept pace to stay in striking distance. But I want to know if you can talk a little bit about that huddle and the rest of the game in terms of how you got your arms around that game dealing with a hot team at home.
Well, there were a couple things. Number one, we were very pleased with the way we were playing offensively. I think after the first quarter, we had only missed 3 shots. So we knew we were keeping pace with a team that was very hot. The other thing that we look at was that the shots that they were making were contested twos. And that's what we really want to try to force teams to do, is take contested two-point shots. We didn't give up many threes at that point. We weren't giving up a whole lot of shots at the rim. And we think that if we can continue to make teams shoot, distant 2-point shots with a hand up, that over the course of a game, the odds will play into our favor. And sure enough, we changed a little bit at halftime about, our not necessarily our strategy as how we were going to guard the screen and roll, but that we were just giving them too much. We were making them go the way we wanted them to go, but we weren't on their tail enough. We weren't putting any pressure on them. And I think at halftime we did a good job of our guys getting motivated enough to disrupt them and make them feel uncomfortable when they were coming off screens.
Blazers assistant coach Jay Triano joining us from Milwaukee. And Coach, have you been able to sit back and kind of appreciate what you've seen so far this early in the season, and maybe appreciate some of the depth that you now have on this roster?
Not really. No, I think when we get locked in here, we get locked in, and as soon as the game was over last night, all of a sudden we became locked in on what we have to do to try to be successful against Milwaukee. And so, it's we're trying to find a way to get another victory tomorrow night, and it's great what's happening. But we would be doing the same thing if we were not winning games. We're trying to move on to the next game and continue doing what we're doing. We like the philosophy and how we're playing right now. And we just got to try to keep moving in the right direction.
He says the rest is just outside noise.
Yeah. Coach, talking a little bit about the flow of this team, and obviously things are going well right now. But, I hear Terry Stotts use the term play and flow a lot. I have the opportunity to be in the huddle at home. I want to know if you could speak a little bit to the balance between running sets and playing in flow, and kind of what dictates that.
Well, we give our players a lot of freedom. I think, we've got a lot of naturally great playmakers on our team. Whether we throw it into the low post and let LaMarcus, who's an excellent passer out of the low post, or Damian or Wes or Nick Batum coming off screen. So, if we push the ball up the floor, then we're dictating the pace of the game. And we're not letting teams get set up into their defensive coverages. And we let our guys go. And whether it's 1 screen or 2 screens and let them play, we call that flow. If we don't have a flow situation, then we're going to get into a half-court set. And I think our half-court sets are very good. Last night we were effective because we made veteran players like Joe Johnson and Paul Pierce have to move a lot before they could guard. And we like a lot of our offensive sets where there's a lot of movement before we get into a screen and roll, or before we get into something, as far as one of our sets, where there's movement before. And we thought that with the age that those guys had, if we can create tempo, which we didn't have in the first quarter because we weren't getting stopped, we could put them in a difficult position. And then if we ran our offensive sets, we could put them also in a different or a difficult position because, we kept moving the basketball, move them, and they don't want to move a whole lot.
Coach, Wesley Matthews is playing like his shorts are on fire right now. He's come out of the gates just blazing hot, but was left off that all-star ballot. He's vented about it, but it's not like he's needed any added motivation for this. Just talk to me about what Wesley Matthews has meant and how he has kind of taken this. He's kind of taken umbrage to not being on that all-star ballot.
Well, it's Wes Matthews as a person. I mean, he's a guy who doesn't get drafted and has something to prove to everybody, and believes in himself, and comes out and creates a great NBA career for a guy who, 30 teams passed over twice as far as the NBA draft goes. And now they're going to take a look at him and say, you're not worthy to be on the All-Star ballot. We always say that those are the greatest motivating things for Wes. You tell him he can't do something, and he finds a way to get it done. And that's just the mental toughness and the type of person that he is. And, I think that's a real tribute to him. He's it's whatever it takes to motivate you. And with Wes, it's like, tell him he can't do something, and he's going to find a way to get it done. And, credit to him for his perseverance and his hard work and what he's done. And he's playing very, very, very well right now.
Yeah, shooting 55% overall, 53% from three-point range, and averaging 16 points a game. Only Klay Thompson and Steph Curry have made more threes this early in the season, Michael.
Wesley is on fire. I mean, and the team is looking for him, and the offense has a rhythm and a flow where three-point shooters get quality looks.
Coach, the beautiful thing is that any given night it's a different player who can be the X factor, and that is a sign of the depth that you guys have right now, right?
Absolutely. I think, we've seen on a variety of nights that, Mo Williams coming in off the bench, Dorell Wright coming in off the bench and hitting shots, Damian Lillard running from the point, LaMarcus down the low block, and then, I haven't even talked about our two starting wing guys, Wes Matthews and Nick Batum. So, our depth this year, and, you have to really credit Neil for what he's done as far as creating some power off the bench, which we really didn't have last year. And, I've just named, 5 or 6 guys, and I haven't even named Robin Lopez, who is our intimidator inside. And, he's got an attitude about protecting the rim, and the rim is his. And, I think, you can't overlook what he's been able to provide on a consistent basis so far this season as well. So, you're right. It takes a team to be very, very good in this league. Every night somebody can come out and beat you, but when you have a lot of quality players, you hope that, 2 or 3 guys get it going offensively, and that we are, we have a staple defensively. We've been a little bit slow with our starts, but we seem to, get fired up about a team scoring 40 points against us in the first quarter, and then take it personally, and then, execute our defensive plan throughout the last 3 quarters.
They're good traits to have this early in the season, and you guys have built on those. One more question as we look ahead to Milwaukee tomorrow. Chance to go 4-0 on this road trip. A lot of people say that that's really tough to do. Just winning road games in general is tough. What do you know about the Milwaukee Bucks tomorrow, and how are you guys preparing for them?
Well, the thing that scares us a little bit about this team is that they've been sitting here for 4 days preparing for us. They've had a little bit of a break in the schedule where they've been home and practicing. They've had a chance to probably get a couple guys a little bit healthier. They're a home team with a lot of pride. They haven't been off to a great start this season. We're really concerned about just making sure that we play our basketball, regardless of who we play, whether it's a team like the Brooklyn Nets, who's supposed to be one of the top teams in the East, or a team that's not doing as well right now. We have to make sure that we're consistent with how we play the game, how we go out and execute our stuff. And if we're aggressive offensively, make the defense collapse a little bit, go inside, kick the ball out to our three-point shooters, go into L.A. and make sure he gets touches and creates an inside game. And then, obviously, we hope that our staple this year is how we defend. And if we defend like we did in the last 3 quarters last night, we're going to be a pretty good basketball team. And that's how we approach tomorrow's game as well.
Blazers coach, assistant coach Jay Triano joining us. Before we let you go, you're in Milwaukee. There's a lot of good food there. And since it's dinner time here in Portland, and you said you are at dinner, what's on the menu tonight for you? What are you having?
Oh, I just had a nice filet here at Moe's Steakhouse, and just wrapping up dinner right now, watching a bunch of NBA games on TV as I do that. So, yeah, it's been a great night here. There are a lot of places to eat here, and it's nice to have a night off for a change, too. We've been on a pretty much of a grind over the last little bit, but we're looking forward to getting back to Portland, but we need to take care of business one more night before we come home.
Excellent, excellent. Appreciate it, Jay. Thanks for the time, and we'll see you Friday when you're back here against the Chicago Bulls. Go get a win tomorrow.
All right. I look forward to it. Thank you very much, guys.
Thanks, guys.